Hey Sagittarius, welcome to your weekly forecast for July 15th through the 21st. We've got our Mercury retrograde going on. We've got the full moon coming up on Tuesday. So we're going to see what is coming up for the week ahead for our Sagittarius sun, moon, and rising friends. We've got our ocean theme going on here, our little ocean decor. We're using our mermaid deck again, well, one of our mermaid decks. So we're going to see what is coming up in the week ahead for Sagittarius, sun, moon, and rising. And guys, after we look at this deck and we look at these cards, I'm going to pull messages for you, or a message for you, like a soul homework card, a spiritual card for you from a different deck. Monday, Tuesday, which I have not used on the channel yet. Wednesday, Thursday. And then your Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And the cool thing about the spirit message card is that it actually comes with a little like homework and journaling assignment, which will be great to do around the full moon. So stick around for that. Ooh, okay, this card's been coming up for several of the signs this week. This is our stalker card for the week. And if we're going to have a stalker card, this is a great one to have because it's a happy one. It's a positive one. We have receptivity here, being open to receiving and to giving. So this is very powerful energy that many of you are going to be coming into. And this is energy having to do with being open to receive and allowing yourself to feel loved, to feel that you're receiving the generosity from the universe, and feeling like you are worthy. Okay, there's a lot of worthiness that comes in with this card. It's not simply just about you know, people giving you things, although when your heart chakra starts opening up and once you are in a feeling of worthiness, that is one of the things that kind of begin to happen, okay, where we begin to receive. We begin to receive in a very big way. So as I was saying, we begin to receive in a very big way once our heart is open. Now, usually when I see this card, that little bird gives me a sense or a feeling of like little gifts coming your way, little miracles, little gestures of kindness. With one of the other signs, I got a little bit of a different feeling for them with this card. But I do feel that for a lot of you, what is coming in is some form of validation. Okay, some form of validation coming in. So I feel like the universe wants you to know that you're worthy. And for you, Sagittarius, it's going to come in different ways with reassurance about a lot of the things that have been bothering you. And for whatever reason, guys, I feel that for many of you, the block for you in receiving is that you've been blaming yourself for something for a really long time. Like you've been judging yourself, or you've been really hard on yourself about something, or there's just been something where you've been having a hard time forgiving yourself for something, or there's been a situation where somebody has not forgiven you for something because either there was a misunderstanding or just something happened, you made a mistake, and they've just never really forgiven you for it. And so that's been something that's been really hurting you, or that you've been feeling very guilty or bad about. So I feel that there's some kind of like conflict resolution, some kind of closure that's happening for a lot of Sagittarius in the beginning part of the week. And the reason why it's happening, you know, Mercury retrograde does have a habit of bringing the past back around, but we've also got the full moon, and the full moon is a time of releasing and like letting go of like buried stuff. So I feel like your angels and guides are trying to help bring healing to you, to any other people who are involved in this situation, and to get both of you guys free and clear to where you're able to receive. Because I do feel this is an energy. I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me, Sagittarius. I had to pause so I could sneeze. Sneezing is actually very clearing also. So some of you are releasing energy as you're watching this, and you're giving me sneezes here. So this is happening so that a lot of you can release and heal and let go of what's been blocking you from receiving. Okay, a lot of times people struggle with, you know, a new love coming into their life, or they struggle being able to manifest you know, money or abundance, and it's because there's something in which we feel like we don't deserve to receive. So whatever your insecurity has been, or whatever you've been like holding over your head, or telling yourself you're not a good person, or you don't deserve to have nice things happen to you, that's gonna get cleared up. And I feel for a lot of you it's gonna happen in a very like unexpected way, where it feels even like it's happening like out of the blue. Okay, but something is finally being released, and you're able to forgive yourself, or you're able to forgive another person, or both. Okay, something is happening that's like making you realize that, you know, you're still a child of God, you're still a child of the universe. Unconditional love is your birthright, as it is for everyone else as well, you know, and abundance is our birthright. You know, like we don't have to be in the struggle all the time. So that is clearing up for many of you. Your Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you have Rama, which is a fancy Irish word. It means like a trip or a journey. Okay, so this is letting us know that you're going to be having some kind of voyage, and you're going to have a chance to take some kind of journey. Okay, for some of you, this is going to be very symbolic, where there's like a soul retrieval happening, where there's just certain parts about past lives that you're able to go and gather and heal. Other ones of you are either getting ready to take a trip, like it's already booked, or you might already be on the trip as you're watching this. And for some of you, you don't have a trip planned just yet, but midweek something is happening where you are feeling called to a certain part of the world, either your childhood home, or like say you know that you have some kind of like an ethnic background, that your family maybe migrated to another country and you've never been back, or you haven't been back for a very long time for where your family originally migrated from, and you might be feeling a pull to like go visit the homeland of your ancestors. Or some of you are more in the energy of like feeling very called to a place that you've always wanted to go visit, and you might have a strong past life connection to that place, and something about it is just calling to you where you've always wanted to go. So some of you are actually able to do this. Some of you are actually going to go travel to this place, or you're making plans. You're like, you know what, I'm going to start looking at, you know, booking a flight, or I'm going to start, you know, planning a trip for the future. I'm going to start putting money aside so I can go there. So there's something happening where some of you are actually planning a physical voyage. And this card came up for another sign, and for them I felt like they were actually getting ready to move. Some of you might be like getting ready to like move or relocate, or like make a big move to another state or another country, but for the majority of you Sagittarius, I feel this is more like a trip where you're going and finding yourself and then returning to like your home. So I don't necessarily feel, at least for most of you, that you're going to be moving to this place, but I do feel it's going to be very significant on your spiritual journey, your self-discovery, your healing, your release, your, you know, past life connection, and all of that stuff. So very, very powerful energy in that way. That dolphin also to me signifies playfulness, having a good time. Dolphins are very, very intelligent. And this is interesting because I've seen this card a few times, and you know, I've said this in the previous videos where I look at the pictures on the cards and certain things jump out at me, and I read intuitively in that way, and I invite you to do the same, because you might see something in the card that has a very specific meaning to you, or means something special to you, and that could be a way of taking a general reading, and it becomes a little bit more personal that way. But that water is jumping out for me, for you guys, and this card has come up before and I haven't seen it like that before, but for you guys I'm seeing it in that way. So the water here, you see it's kind of choppy, right? Like it's I mean, it's not like rough to where like she's in danger, but it's agitated, and it might even feel like this boat is going very fast, but she just has her fingers in it. So this makes me feel like It's symbolic of like when things maybe are rough or things maybe are not very clear, you're not shying away from it anymore. Like you're calm about it and you're seeing the good beneath it. Like you're seeing what you want to focus on, and you're just like, oh, there's something good here that I can experience. Like she's wanting to connect with that dolphin. She's reaching out for that dolphin. So I think something is happening, Sagittarius, where maybe before some of you would get really worked up about stuff, or like if there was some kind of unplanned, you know, like something would pop up, or there would be like a detour in your plans or something where you would get really upset in the past. This is something you're able to release and you're not going to be having to worry about in the future, where you just kind of have this, oh, okay, well, I'm not going to let this get me down, and I'm still going to have a good time, and I'm still going to have my experiences, where you're able to just kind of go with it and not feel threatened or worried by something being a little bit choppy from time to time. Your Friday, Saturday, and Sunday card, is Soul Cage, Rescue, Escape from Captivity, and Restrictions. Right? So, any way in which you may have been feeling stuck lately, that is changing for many of you. That is changing for many, many, many of you. And you're coming into this energy of, feeling protected, feeling rescued. Some of you are receiving some kind of like 11th hour miracle, as I call it. So something is happening for some of you where you've been holding out for a long time. Things have been rough, but there's finally some assistance that's coming in that's getting you over the hurdle, or helping you move past something where you have felt stuck or trapped in it for a very long time. So this is going to be different for different ones of you, my dears. Okay? Different for different ones of you. Some of you are in this energy where it could be somebody like literally reaching out to you or helping you, like a friend or a family member. For other ones of you, it could just be that you're finding a certain type of teaching that's helping you. It could be that you're reading things online, or you're finding videos online that are lifting you up, that are encouraging you, that are helping you break out of like a toxic thinking, especially if you're around people who aren't much help or who are more discouraging than helpful. Something about this picture too makes me feel like some of you may have been struggling or have been feeling very buried in some kind of an addiction. And you're breaking out of it. You're coming out of it where it's not going to hold you back anymore. Or you're finally getting the help that you need to break out of it. I think some of you are discouraged. If, those of you who are dealing with some kind of an addiction where there's been like relapses, and you just feel like, man, every time I relapse, I tell myself this is the last time, and like now it happened again. But something is happening where you're realizing that you deserve to be loved, right? That unconditional love of self, and unconditional love from others, and you're realizing that you're worth fighting for, and that other people feel that you're worth fighting for. So for some of you, there's just a percentage of you that are experiencing this energy in this way, where you're being pulled out, or you're able to finally pull yourself out of some kind of an addiction. Some of you are hurting very deeply because of the addiction of another person. And maybe it's a romantic partner, maybe it's a parent, maybe it's somebody who's passed on and they passed away and you never really got to have closure. Something may be happening this week where a lot of information or messages are coming where you're able to really kind of get closure and release it and let it go, and understand and know that, they were trying really hard too, but it was a sickness, it was a disease. They did not mean to put you through what they put you through, right? Like with any other disease, sometimes we kind of feel like, well, if you really love me, you would change. But that's not always the case. People struggle with certain factors that it's very hard to change. That doesn't mean it's impossible. It's not impossible, but it's not like a walk in the park. It's not like a Disney movie where, you know, oh wow, there's this beautiful princess or there's this handsome prince and I'll do whatever it takes to, you know, fight the dragon and be with them. Sometimes fear is a very strong emotion that blocks people and stops people. So you know, love is very powerful, but love cannot automatically change everything that needs to be healed in a person. And so I think some of you are clearing that kind of energy as well. But overall, whatever's been holding you back, whatever you've been feeling stuck, regardless of what it is, if it's a relationship, if it's a worthiness issue, if it's an injury or something from the past, emotional or mental trauma, you're finally able to release it, and you're feeling lifted up, you're feeling loved, you're feeling rescued. Whether it's, like I said, something online that you're accessing that's giving you strength or power, or a person that happens to be showing up, you're being lifted out of a difficult time, and you're realizing that you know, the universe is sending you help, and in various and different ways. We're going to go ahead and check out your soul message for the week. And again, guys, I really encourage you to watch your moon sign and rising sign videos too, because some weeks those are going to resonate with you more than others. They might also add a little bit of a personal touch for you. You know, make the video a little bit more personal. And this deck here, guys, as always, I have the deck info in the description if you want to check them out, if you like the cards. I really love this deck because the artwork is gorgeous. And every single card has like a little homework assignment, like a little meditation and journaling assignment. And so if you're trying to do spiritual work, or like, you know, boost your intuition or do some kind of healing work, I really love this deck for that. So the link is in the description too if you want to check that out. 26. It's funny because I've been wanting to like make a deck, and I'm gonna be working the next like year and a half trying to put together my own deck of cards. And I really love this system. I want to do something like this set here. But the meditation, it's kind of long, so I'm not going to read all of that, but I'm going to read the other assignment for you. So this is inspired reflections. This is things to reflect on and actions to take, and then there's a writing assignment. The reflections and actions are, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't explain the card. So you have Vesica Kiss. I'm not saying that right. Ooh, well, let's read that, because this is, I'm not familiar with what this is. Okay, so the outside world feels more real than the inner world because we have been encouraged to focus more on what it is outside of us. We have learned to give things that can be seen by others or touched by us more importance than what we feel. Making decisions can become difficult when our awareness is focused away from our inner needs and wants. When our internal and external realities are integrated, decisions are clear and easily made. This leads to satisfaction, as there is no resistance to your fulfillment. When we scan the myriad possibilities open to us in the manifested world, we will know what we want and will not feel overwhelmed. In this space, we become grateful for the decisions we have made and all the ones we will make in the future. So this is just a fancy way of saying that you might be looking so much for the approval or acceptance of other people that you might be sacrificing way too much of yourself. And a lot of what you're looking for to feel loved or to feel happy already is inside of you. So this is about like not giving too much of yourself or not sacrificing too much of you to make others happy. Okay, so we're gonna look at the reflections and the actions. And I just want to bring something out here about the colors. There's a lot of beautiful colors here, these different shades of purple. So this makes me feel like there's a lot of clearing happening for a lot of you in the crown chakra. And then that heart, you see the heart in the center, and there's like, it's just being activated and full of light and full of healing. So I feel there's going to be this really significant thought process and like mental epiphanies that are coming up for a lot of you that are going to lead to healing of the heart, where like maybe you felt somebody really rejected you or somebody let you down, and you're realizing, you know what, it's not even about me. They weren't necessarily rejecting me. They were just in a really messed up place, or they were really sick, or they were really, you know, damaged in some way. So something is happening where you're able to take what feels like a rejection and release it and let it go and really come into healing for a lot of you. Whatever area of life that may have been from. Your reflection and action work is, imagine you are the overlap of the vesica piscis for one day. Meet every experience in person that comes your way without judgment. Okay, so in other words, let's put this in a way, I'm not too familiar with this terminology of this vesica, but let's just practice for this week. You know, every person that comes your way, just kind of try not to judge them. Okay, like try not to see them as good or bad. And try to just practice letting them be. It makes me think of Hafiz, I believe it was Hafiz, where he said, like, if you walk into a forest and you see all these different trees, all different, you know, sizes and shapes, some are like decaying and falling over, some are very small, some are very big, some are very thin, some are very wide. You don't look at the trees and get angry. You don't say, oh, look at this stupid tree here. It's not growing as much as the other trees. Or, oh, look at this tree here. It's too big. It's taking up all of the nutrients. What a selfish piece of crap tree. You don't do that. You just appreciate the trees for what they are. Like, you just look at the tree and say, oh, this one got a lot of sun. Oh, this one's in the shade a lot. It's not getting a whole lot of sun. You just kind of accept the way that they are. You don't sit there and you don't get angry about the way that they are. Right? So we have experiences in our life that shape us, right? So sometimes somebody might behave in a way that we see them as, oh, they're being a jerk, but it could be that they've had experiences in their life that have kind of made them that way, right? And it's not about us. We don't have to take it personally. We don't have to embrace that person into our life. We don't have to be friends with them. We don't have to interact with them, but we sure as heck don't have to allow them to get us worked up or get us upset, because they're behaving in a way that their life kind of shaped them, and they haven't woken up enough yet to make changes. And maybe someday they will, and maybe someday they won't. That's their journey. We don't have to get upset about it. So just practice not judging, you know, or taking things personally. The next reflection here is, turn off the television and tune into your inner glow of creativity and entertainment. So find ways to entertain yourself other than TV. You know, maybe take on a creative project, some arts or crafts, or something creative that maybe you haven't done. Next one here is, speak your truth. This does not mean pushing your judgments. It means allowing yourself to say something to someone without blame or needing anything from them. If this makes you feel vulnerable, it means you care more about what others think about you than what you think of yourself. Okay, so practice like not, okay, so you know what, this could be like really hard for some people because it can leave them feeling very vulnerable, but I'm gonna maybe try to simplify it for you so that you're not like bearing your soul if you're not ready to bare your soul. So for this week, maybe just practice, if you can't do something or if you don't want to do something, you can be polite, but be firm in saying no. Don't say yes when you don't want to do it, you know. Don't say yes if you really want to say no. So just don't do things that you don't want to do or that you're not comfortable with, you know. So maybe that could be another way that you can do that assignment. Your journal work for the week is draw or write about 3 things you would like to reboot or rebirth in your life. So what would you like to take up again? What would you like to do that maybe used to make you happy that you haven't been able to do in a long time? Or something that you've always wanted to do but you didn't have the courage or the time to do? You know, maybe make a commitment and think of 3 things that would make you happy to call into your life. Okay, my dears? Be sure to watch your moon sign and rising sign too. Some weeks those may resonate with you more than others. You might want to do another little spiritual assignment. You might like the assignment for your moon sign or rising sign better. Whatever the case, my dear, the videos are there for you to enjoy. If you want more love life info, because I don't focus too much on love life in the weekly forecasts, those of you who watch me, you know this. But for those of you who don't know, if you click on the love video link in the description of this video, it will take you to the July love readings, because I do the love readings separate on this channel. For those of you who want a personal reading, the Calendly link is in the description. Everything you need to know to schedule is there, guys. I promise you. The type of readings I offer, how to schedule, what they cost, everything is in the Calendly link. So that's there too. And you don't have to wait all week for videos. I love that you guys watch them. I appreciate you so very much. I appreciate all of your subscribing, liking, commenting, sharing. But in between the weekly videos, every single day, guys, I'm a busy bee. I'm on social media every single day, posting a card of the day, a message for the day, and then a pick a card, where you get to pick the card that's like calling to you the most. And then the next day, 24 hours later, I will reveal whatever card everybody picked, and I will explain the card that you picked. So really, every single day you get a card in the beginning in the morning, and you get a card in the afternoon. So 2 messages a day there on social media, and all you have to do is like or follow the social media page. You don't have to sign up for anything. You don't have to check your email. It's there on Facebook and Instagram at amethystangellight. So again, my darlings, I'm wishing you a fabulous week ahead. Take care.